Alrighty. Good morning. Welcome to Friday's ad-free live stream. Really glad that you're here. If you're here for the first time, welcome. We're going to be walking you through and navigating the wild world of day trading futures. It's going to be a good time. We're going to be talking about order blocks, fair value gaps, inversions, breakers, order flow, all that good stuff to help navigate you through the market. So it's going to be a good time if you're here. After the fact, you can use the key markers using the chapter markers below. And then lastly, if you're looking to take your trading to the next level, if you want to take it to a prop firm and you're like, well, you know what, I want to use other people's money, not my own, and I want to take it to the next level, you can use the code DTJ. Down in the description, you'll see the links to get anywhere from 30 to 80% off your next evaluation account. Each of the prop firms that I have on the screen have a value for a different person based on where they are in their trading. In my personal opinion, Apex is for brand new traders. Take Profit Trader or TPT would be great for the average trader that knows they can pass an eval account and doesn't want to pay an activation fee. And those that just want to skip straight to a funded account, you can use Tradify. All those links are down in the description. With that, let's go ahead, rock and roll. Let's open in prayer and we will get started. Father, we just honor you today. Lord, I thank you that your mercies are new every morning. I thank you that in our weakness, we are made strong because of your grace. So today, give us eyes to see, ears to hear what your Spirit is saying. Give us understanding of the market. Father, we just declare that we have patience. We are not chasing profits, but we will receive what you have for us this morning. I pray a blessing over everyone here, that they would see increase in their trading, in their personal walk with you. In Jesus' name. And everyone said, amen. Okay, folks, good morning. Ted, how you doing? Michael? Alex? Chap, how you doing? Matthew, what's up? Tony, how you doing? Peckin, what's going on? How you doing? John, good morning. Jerry, how you doing? Paige, how's it going? Jose, Josh, what's up? Or Laura. It's Josh or Laura, one of the two. Welcome. Glad you're here. Wendy, good morning. Okay. Northern, what's up, my friend? You taking a trade already? Jeff? Shalil? How you doing? Orange fan, how you doing? I've been great. Gia, good morning. Jason, what's up? Not today. Lake, is that Lake Cha trip? Lake Cha trip? Kingdom blessings. Yes, it's going to be a great day. It's Friday. I mean, you got the weekend vibes coming. It's sunny out where I'm at least. So let's go ahead and rock and roll. Let's jump into the markets. Let's take a look and see what we got going on. Today's Friday, okay? We got Friday. Let's look at where we are here, okay? We already have, we went first lower, then we went higher, okay? So looking at the weekly, we open, boom, we dropped, and we retraced, and we ran this high. So the question is, on a weekly time frame, are we going to hit this level today? I don't know. On a daily perspective, you can see this. We retraced first. We went lower, hit the volume imbalance. We've expanded higher. We ran Monday's high or Friday's high, the previous week high right there, and closed back inside the range. We have, let's go ahead and mark our previous day high and our previous day low. We've ran into the previous day's midpoint, and we found support there. And we are apparently potentially moving higher. We have the midpoint of the monthly candle sitting right here, sitting at 20,368. And we have our high, which is that inversion fair value gap on the monthly sitting up here, is what I've been eyeing all week as a potential draw on liquidity. So I want to make sure we keep our support at the previous day's midpoint if we're going to have a bullish sentiment. We've been in consolidation on the 4-hour over the last. We've gone back and forth, but we've been inside. We've been really staying underneath the midpoint of that daily candle or the daily fair value gap. Okay. So we're just putting together our ideas here. We have a reversal here. Let's drop down to the hourly. And we are still in the hourly fair value gap. Let's go ahead and mark that bad boy out. And we will get the rest of our levels. We only have 4 minutes before market opens here. So let me get set up here. Okay. You deserve the praise. I always do that. I'm going to get better at this. It's just something new I'm doing. I want when I do the introductions with the bigger picture of my face, and then I forget to reduce my size, but luckily we've been only focused on the right hand of the screen, so it should have all been pretty fine for you guys. Let's go ahead and make sure we're set up. I got the right accounts. What do I have for my risk? 250. All right, let's go ahead and find our opening range gap. Let's see where we're at here. Very small opening range gap, or a new day opening gap, so really going to be an insignificant level. We got a discount range. We swept that high. I like the 930 model. We swept this low though. We'll see if we can get a little push lower here. But we're inside that data candle. I'm not sure exactly what happened there, but probably some type of tariffs talk. Worthy is your name. Opening or 930 model did not play out. All right, let's see if we stay inside this range or come back or we break higher. I'm expecting us to stay inside this range right off the bat here. We'll see what happens. Be exalted now in the heavens as your glory fills this place. We got relatively equal lows sitting here that we just created, and then we got some liquidity down here as well. I'd like to see price move a little bit lower, to be honest. I appreciate it. Thank you, sir. That Apex eval. All right, are we going to get an expansion here? We'll see. Or is it going to come back down inside the range? Ben, Jaden, will you close my door, please? Close the door. I'm on the stream. Okay, we're going to be waiting here for the first 15 minutes. Worthy is your name. Let's mark out this first presented fair value gap. I'm new to the channel, so good to be with believers, hoping to learn from you as I learn how to trade ICT models. It's not necessarily a model, it is a way to look at the charts. So, I'm glad you're here. See if we get a retest right here of the first presented fair value gap. Be exalted. Yeah. Matthias, how you doing? Glad to have you. Just creeping up higher here. Creeping. Previous day high is sitting right here. Wouldn't mind to see that tagged. All right, do we find support here or do we push right through it? That's the question. All right, so we violated the first presented fair value gap. I have 4 minutes before I'm going to take a first trade, but I like this holding being resistance and a continued sell-off here. Here we have the opening range gap down here. It's a decent size. We're looking roughly at 120 handles. 120 handles, so we'd want to see this play as resistance. We retested the previous week high. We obviously have already ran that level once, but we have previous day high sitting up here as well. Let's look at the hourly here. I don't have a clear bias on where price wants to go. So we're looking at low points or quick points of liquidity. We do need to run that data candle for whatever the news was. We do need to run this level here. And we did run already this low down here. So that seems to be all okay, but we'll see what price wants to do here. Byron, what's up, my friend? How you doing? Hopefully the stream's a little bit cleaner today in regards to the no glitching. No glitchiness. If you're appreciating the soon-to-be commentary, it's been a little quiet right at the beginning. You know what? We're gonna pin that one at the top. Let's pin that comment. There we go. That's a good one. That's a good one to pin. Relatively equal lows right here. That's 930. Let's go ahead and mark 930 out. What's up, Jonathan? How you doing? MR, good morning. Let's make it a great day. Not doing anything crazy. ES, we got relatively equal highs. I'm not a fan of that, especially if we're looking for a down move or a bearish move. There's our equal highs. We do got 930 would be a breaker. So if we get this close, I'm not opposed to taking this to these equal lows down here. These relatively equal lows. But we need to close below 930 and then we need to come back up and tag it. I don't think we don't have any really major news, so we should be good on taking a trade here. We haven't hit the equal lows on ES. That looks good too. We closed right on 930. I don't like that. Yeah, we got equal lows and equal highs. It's not very clean. We'll sit and wait. We want that one good trade. With that one solid trade. You could count this as an inversion, right, or a breaker right there. Closed at it. That's not bad. We haven't ran those lows. I feel like that's kind of trying to make something happen that doesn't need to. We have a volume imbalance down here. Good call. Made more equal lows on ES. I would like to see those equal lows ran. Let's see if this plays out here. A close above the first presented fair value gap would be a close of the trade. Yeah, I do like that too. Worthy is your name, Jesus. You deserve the praise. Gonna put it right above the midpoint of that wick. It's holding up more than I want. Need to break that low right there, that previous low. Okay, we swept that. Let's see if we can push lower right here. If this candle goes green, I'm going to close the trade. Because it needs to drop right here. All right. It's back at break even. Or on that turning green, so I didn't want to hold it. It's not a bad. It's not bad. It really isn't. We have a BPR with the first presented fair value gap. I'll just have to take a different entry. If we close on the 5, if we close below this bullish candle right here, so if we close below, we really need to close below 930 a little bit more. We closed on 930 and then retag that, but we need to close below it. I'm okay if it doesn't even close below the 5-minute BIST right here, but that also would be nice confirmation as well. Pablo, what's up? There it goes. Waiting for the 5 minutes to close. We got one more minute. Pablo, I'm waiting for the 5 minutes to close to see if we inverse this. If we inverse this 5 minute, I'm looking for a retest of 930, and then I'll look to take a short. If we can't get that, which it doesn't look like we're going to, our bullish option is looking at previous day high. If it wants to really start pushing, it could go to previous day high. So we're refusing to run lower there. I really like seeing this 5 minute wick as a bullish reaction here. Got 5 minutes till 10 o'clock. We'll see if we're getting a 10 o'clock move or if it's going to consolidate here. I don't do anything. I don't even know what the gauntlet is that ICT talks about. I probably should look into it. The next 5-minute candle is really going to matter. How it closes is really going to tell us. I mean, that doesn't look pretty at all. The 15-minute time frame, just, it looks nasty. I'm not a fan of that. So we have two ideas that we're looking, one bullish, one bearish. We have to have one of the two happen if we're going to end up doing something. Otherwise, we will sit on our hands. A retest of this breaker, I will look to take a long. Preferably before we hit this high at 942. Not sure if that's going to happen though. We closed above the first presented fair value gap that reclaimed. It might not drop all the way. It might come back down to this wick. So if you want to take an early entry, that could be there. $9.30. Let's see what it does here. Probably wait for this candle to close. See what the 10 o'clock candle gives us. This looks good. I'm going to have to, this is worth taking a shot. Violation back below the first presented fair value gap isn't going to be nice. It might be a reason to cut the trade early. But we'll see if this actually plays out for us. Okay, we just swept this small high, internal swing high. If you wanted to move a stop to break even, that's not a bad idea. I'm going to leave mine just in case we got a little bit of reaction here. Let's see if we can get push higher through this. We want to see it run through this fair value gap sitting right here. We really want to get in that. If we don't, that's what I was afraid of. We would have been stopped out there if I moved my stop to break even. I'm going to sell one if we sweep that high. So close, I'm pushing it up a little bit more. Come on. Give it a little bit of strength there. Come on, give it a push. All right, we're going to move that stop. We're going to take one profit there. Got one contract left. I want to see it close. We need it really to close above this fair value gap. I want to see this order block hold right here. My target's going to be this data candle high, 288. Breaker's still valid. First presented fair value gap is still valid. If we're getting a violation of any of these discount PD arrays, that's when we're going to want to close the trade. The body did respect this 1 minute order block. That is a great sign despite the wicks here. Let's see if this next candle does the same or if we get an expansion here. Really, this is the propulsion block right here. We should see this candle. If this truly is a propulsion block, we should see this current candle start to expand higher. If we don't get that, that might be an indication we're early and we need to cut the trade. Well, there we go. We got slapped. Okay, so got a partial off there, but then our stop loss basically turned that into a break-even trade. With that wick, the body is still respecting the breaker. ES right here still has its equal highs. conveniently slaps us, gets stops out, and now it looks like it's going to move higher here. Those aren't fun. Is what it is. Can't do anything about it. We technically don't have a we don't have an inversion on this fair value gap right here. So if you're like, I don't want to miss this, well, that would be your re-entry, is if we close above that fair value gap. I'm going to do a quick scalp on this. Let's see if it gives it to us. With that small little close, all these wicks to the downside and then pulling back higher. It would be nice to see if it just wants to run for that data high. It'd need to do it fairly quick. But these conditions aren't, I'm not liking the conditions here. So it's better to sit out, folks. I'm doing a small little scalp, but the risk to reward is not the best, if I'm just being honest with you. I do like the idea of us running these equal highs on ES. And if it violates this fair value gap right here, that whole idea is gone. And it looks like it is. Yep. Let's go ahead and do our, since we have a little bit of time, we're towards the end of the macro period, so we're going to probably wait for the next macro period to do anything. Since we have a little bit of time, let's pull up our daily affirmations. Price is really garbage. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It's garbage. All right, here's our affirmation for today. Hard trading days don't break me. They build me. When I feel weak, I lean on his strength. My edge is just strategy. It isn't. I think I misspelled that. My edge isn't just strategy, it's surrender. I don't need perfect conditions to grow. I need his power in my process. This is the second part to that 2 Corinthians chapter 12, verse 9. This is verse 10. For when I am weak, then I am strong. Understanding that it's part of the process, guys. Relying on trading is significantly more than just trading. It is learning to rely and put your confidence in the Lord, in Him, that you're in a journey, in a process to learn to trade. And it is a journey. It's a big journey. So I think this is a great one. Okay, a lot of wicks, a lot of back and forth. We're just going to sit and wait, not do anything. Thank you, Peckin. This tiny fair value gap right here has been support, like, in a strange way. $58. Pablo, I was about to quit trading because I lost my funded account for lack of discipline, but the Lord really helped me and redirected my mind. You feel healthy now? That's awesome, man. It is for sure a journey, and learning to be disciplined is 99.99% of what you need. If you have discipline, just about any strategy can work. So that's the mistake most traders make. They think it is about figuring out the perfect model, the perfect strategy, the secret sauce, and the secret sauce is discipline. Peckin, yes, I'm live every weekday, 9:15. I kind of want to get out of the 1 minute and take a look at the 5 minute here. $18 months. And even still, with 18 months under my belt to being profitable, it doesn't mean you don't have weeks of drawdown or inconsistency issues. But 18 months was a big turning point in my trading. It's hard for me to want to take that short. I'm not going to. While the breaker's playing out, it didn't have a sweep of liquidity. It filled an imbalance, made a lower high. So that's not, that would be like an A minus breaker. It's not my A plus breaker. This breaker looked way better than this one here, or this one right here. This breaker long looked way better. It's the trade that we took. Significantly better. And that one failed. So why would I put my confidence in a trade that doesn't sweep any type of liquidity? Could it work out? Sure, but it's just not a trade. It's not part of a trade that we would want to take. Honestly, you probably have a better shot of it sweeping this low, going long right here, and it running for the highs. But %, Pablo. Josh and Laura, so does that first presented fair value gap matter at this point? The answer is yes. And it will matter not necessarily at this point, but it matters depending on what structure happens later on. So, for example, let's just say we have a big sell-off here, right? And right now we have this breaker. If we have a big liquidity point or a big move and price then decides to come back up to this breaker, okay? So let's say it does that and it finds resistance here. Well, guess what? Not only is this breaker here, but we also have this first presented fair value gap. So it gives me more confidence that if we start seeing it slow down right here, we could see it roll over in price. So it might not be relevant at this moment, but later on in today's price action, it could. All right, so we ran those equal lows. Let's see if we leave this consolidation. We just closed below the 5-minute. And look, all right, so there's that 5-minute we closed below, and look at this 5-minute. Look where the midpoint is. Midpoint sitting right around that breaker. So yes, we're seeing an expansion, but I personally would probably wait for price to come back up to 930 for me to feel confident about taking a short. I'm not going to chase this. I want to wait for it to come back up into here and then see if we can get a further expansion. I mean, yeah, you could take that. I've already decided I want it to retrace. Look at the candles. This is just my logic here. A lot of back and forth. Really no long extended moves. If we get that now, fantastic. But I'm assuming we're going to get some type of pullback. And so I don't want to get it on the expansion and then get stopped out on the pullback if there is one. So I will risk losing or missing the trade in hopes that I get a pullback to a level I like and then to participate in the continuation. If it wants to go all in one slice right now, then I can't participate in that. There's times it does. Well, where was it? There's times that it just does run. Where was it? Here. You might get something like this, sure. Okay. Yeah, we missed out. I got stopped out on this candle right here. I got in on the pullback and then it came down just a little too much, stopped me out when I moved my stop to break even, and then it just exploded higher. So I just can't do it. I have to get in on a pullback. I don't do anything with Bitcoin. I do watch gold. I called this breaker earlier yesterday. We called that while it was moving, and it had a nice sell-off there. We're in stage 2 distribution, in my opinion, on gold. So I'm expecting lower prices on gold. I would say watch this inversion fair value gap right here. Price already wicked up into it. If it stays in the discount portion of that inversion fair value gap, we should see it roll over. It looks really nice. So we got the sell-off all in one swift move, not a single pullback into a fair value gap that was of importance, is what it is. Got 3 minutes till the half-hour mark. All right, we tagged equilibrium of previous day range. We just ran equal lows on ES. Give me a second, folks. One of my kids stayed home today. The school's calling. Worthy is your name, Jesus. I'd like to see this now retrace up to the equal lows area. That'd be nice. See how it reacts based on this previous day midpoint. I'm okay with something like this too. If we could get a retracement, a failure swing, another move, and then we start pushing lower, a breaker to the downside would be nice if it wants to continue that way. Let's see. Let's go back to the daily. Daily. I don't like this daily candle. I don't like the weekly candle. I think it'd probably be an inside day. I mean, it could absolutely be. It's Friday. It doesn't have to expand. We've had a lot of movement here. We hit our weekly high yesterday, so that could have been the upside target. So assuming that's the upside target that we already ran, we could just play inside this range. So let's find out where equilibrium is. From this push higher here. Midpoint is inside this hourly fair value gap. What about here? Equilibrium is the new day opening gap right there. So we're currently sitting at equilibrium right now from this range, inside of this high and low, okay? So there's the midpoint of that high and low. Midpoint of this high and low. We'll see if we can reach down to this 5-minute fair value gap. It's a imbalance sitting right below a swing low down here. Typically an area of support. We'll see if it wants to reach down there. It's 10:34. So yeah, buy side. I mean, it looks smooth. I agree with you. It's 10:34. Sorry, I'm Central Time, so I keep saying an hour prior to before, earlier than what it actually is. So I'm not interested in taking a trade right around 9:30 with no real model. This would just be a continuation, and it certainly could continue. That's 100% certain. That's like not 100% certain, but it's a real possibility. That level is 2080. Let's mark that here. Give me a second, folks. Got to answer this real quick. All right, so how does this fair value gap, 5-minute fair value gap, find support here? We'll see if it closes below. If it closes below, then it may be reaching for this lower one right here. We have a lower one sitting here. But unfortunately, it's just, yes, I want to be able to, I wanted to be able to take this move. But the move didn't even give us a clear entry there. And if we look even on the 15-minute, the 15-minute didn't close till down here. If we look for a 5-minute confirmation, the 5-minute didn't close until down here. And at this point, we were waiting for that retracement. Okay, we were waiting for that price to come back up to a level that we could reasonably take a position at. Even this inversion fair value gap sitting right here on the 5-minute, we didn't even come up into that. So it literally ran without us. And these are the hardest things as a trader. I mean, I still struggle with it. I still struggle with that desire to want to get this move. And I mean, if I'm on the other end, honestly, if I'm sitting on the other side of the screen and I'm watching this dude talk about this move and he doesn't take any of it, the first thing I think of is, does this guy know how to trade? Does this guy know what he's doing? He's missing the entire move. That's the sucky part, is because every model, every strategy is different. And while there may be a strategy somebody could have taken to capitalize on this trade, maybe they took an emotional trade and it happened to work out for them. Stuff like this is very hard to communicate on this side of the screen to the viewer and say, hey, it ran without us. It sucks. We're going to sit here and do nothing. That's so hard. That's so hard because everything in us wants to take a trade. Everything I just talked about earlier about the emotional pokes. It's poking. This voice inside of our head is just poking, trying to grab us, saying, hey, take it, take it, take it, take it. And it's the lesson for me is learning to ignore those pokes. So you're thinking, oh, this guy doesn't know how to trade. And I'm thinking, man, I'm doing a great job not trying to take a trade while I'm missing an entire move that didn't give me any signals for my entry. Basically, I don't take any retracements. I don't take trades with no retracements. You could have taken this one right here. Sure, that was a possibility. You could potentially take this one right here, but what happens if it goes like this? Boom, boom. Which has happened to me dozens of times. You would just have to keep a stop tight or a tight stop loss. So the lesson in your personal journey is, hey, I'm not going to allow these emotional pokes, that drunk monkey on your shoulder telling you to do what you think you should be doing, right? What is a drunk monkey? Basically saying the drunk version of yourself would go, oh, man, come on, just take the trade. You can do it. Come on. Oh, you're missing out the whole thing. Just take the trade. You can't do that. Or you're going to blow an account. You'll blow an account, and I've blown so many accounts. It's hurt so much that I just don't want to do that anymore. I want to take small trades. So even dropping down to the 30-second, there was maybe one entry, but that was after like 3 fake outs just before it. 100% mad. I mean, it sucks. Just about 50% of the wick from Wednesday hit the 5-minute fair value gap. You called overlaps with the 1 standard deviation of the opening range. Yeah, I mean, what did I mentioned it. I said, watch that 5-minute fair value gap. If it's going to find support, it's probably going to be there. It's a great lesson. If you want to take something out of today, take this lesson, okay? The lesson is this. When you have a swing low sitting just above an untouched fair value gap, that fair value gap will most likely be support. It hurts like too much. I'm not kidding, guys. It is the hardest thing. And especially when you get a brand new trader on here that has no idea what they're doing and they're watching you and then they throw comments out there, oh, this guy doesn't know how to trade. Oh, this guy, he's a fraud. And it's like, man, It's tough. It's tough. Especially when I'm putting it all out there for everybody to see. All the mistakes, all the wins, all the losses, all the misanalysis. It's not fun at all. It's a tough gig. But trading is not, if it was easy, everybody be doing it. That's just the honest truth. If trading was easy, everybody would be freaking doing it. So no growth and comfort. Oh boy. That's a truer statement than most people realize. Hit the like button. That's right. Thank you. Thank you. We sat and did nothing here, folks. We didn't get none of that. I mean, this is where champions are made. Can you say, all right, if you took a 10 handle scalp, cool, great. But we're not going to talk about that. We're talking about if you missed the bulk of this move and you did it because it didn't give you a confirmation, maybe you got a quick scalp, 10 handles, sure. I mean, that's fine. Who cares? But if you missed the majority of this trade and didn't take anything and stayed disciplined, there's growth in that. There's discipline in that. There's success that you can glean from that and be happy with your performance. Because performance is also not taking a trade. It's a big deal, guys. And I'm griping on this a little bit because it's important. And it makes me feel better. Too much makes me feel better. Makes me feel better because I didn't take the trade. So if I talk it out loud, it's like I get my body to believe it. You know what I'm saying? Okay, I have to make one more phone call, and I'll be right back with you guys. Sorry, folks, I had to get something addressed on other matters, so we got all that worked out. So now we're sitting, we got the reaction from that first presented fair value gap, and we are retracing. How far do we retrace? So a couple things that we can look at here. If we want to put a Fibonacci tool from the high of the move to the low of the move, we can see where the midpoint is. Okay, the midpoint lines up perfectly with this low on the 5 minute. Let's drop down to the 1 minute. Let's see what that looks like. It lines up beautifully with the midpoint of this fair value gap. Okay, there's equilibrium. Just about. Midpoint's a little bit lower, right? So we have that, and then we have this over here, low. So I like that level as far as a potential area to see it retrace to. Let's see if it wants to do that. If we want to take it a step further, we could do the OTE, the optimal trade entry, which would be a retracement. Oops. And OTE is going to be somewhere, 61% is somewhere around those equal lows. And then if we take it a step further and we do our 70% level, our 70% level is sitting, let me make these thicker. Our 70% level is sitting right here. So the 70% level is right at this breaker here, this high, low, higher, high. We'll see if it wants to retrace there. So we have two ways that we can play this. We can play the retracement, assuming that this is our low, and we could play along. We could run it to that high. Or we could wait for the retracement to get to our key level and play the potential reversal. Both are options. Looking at that. Considering the time that we're in, if I'm going to take a trade, it would probably have to be this continuation or this retracement if it's going to do that. The first thing that I like that I may attempt is an inversion to the upside right here. All right, let's see if this actually wants to give us that high. It may not. We have previous equilibrium, so we want to see if it finds support there, stays inside this fair value gap, and pushes up to these highs. That's ideal. No, it does not want to do that, so we wait. Seek and destroy tends to be where you grab the high and lows and it reverses. This, at the beginning, it felt like that, but I wouldn't necessarily call it that right now. All right, let's see if we get a reaction from this level here. I'm treating this as an order block. I'd like to see this order block hold right here. See if we can get an inversion right here. If we get an inversion, that would be a nice little push to this upside. Waiting for that inversion. I will take a long here if it gives it to us. Okay, let's see if it gives us to this high. Watching this inversion. Looking for that sweep. Made equal highs there. Can we get that push higher? All right, stops to break even. Sorry, I didn't realize that wasn't on. Stops at break even, pushing to see if we can get up to the next set of highs there. All right, stopped out at break even. Not the best conditions, but there we go. If we want to continue lower, I'm not opposed to that. Did we tap the 5-minute? We haven't tapped the 5-minute yet. I really would like it to come into the to this level here. Right, and 151 about. Equal highs, relatively equal highs here. Really want to see that level ran with it being so close. This is what I'm talking about. You see these wicks right here, and it makes you just like, we should just push right up into there, and then what it does after, I don't care. Let's see if we can get there. There we go. We should get that push right there. All right, so we swept the high there. Let's see if it wants to push any higher or what it wants to do from this point. Three-minute. London low, sitting on my hands. Appreciate being consistent with the live stream, brother. You bet, Jency. All right, we're coming up to the 50% level right here. Let's see how it wants to handle that. I'm not going to lie, this looks bullish, but I've seen price completely reverse. We swept lows on ES. Okay, so that's done. We have a big inversion. I can't go long unless we have a 15 minute, maybe a 5 minute. I mean, even still, we need a 5 minute inversion. That's outside of the range. So that's tough to want to go. I'm just not liking today's trading, folks. I'm not liking the conditions that we're seeing here. If we can get a retest of this level, use this as a breaker, and it finds support there, I would consider going long for up to the equal lows, 70%, somewhere around there. But we would need a retracement there. Data highs could be, yeah. If we get into that fair value gap, I'll do one contract. I'll do a micro. This would be the last play of the day. I'm not willing to take major risks, so it's going to be a small size and low risk. So if we get into that fair value gap, I'll look at taking a long. Everything else has been really mitigated here, so. That's what we're looking for, that one drop into there. I'm sure it was some type of news driver. Yeah, it could have been something about tariffs. I don't know. There's been some news coming out about tariffs and deals being done between countries. The trading on the top left of the screen is Tradevate. What I do for all my analysis on is TradingView. Can it give us a single retracement? Oh, thank you, Matt. What Supreme Court justice died? That's big news. Was it Republican or Democrat? I feel bad for saying that. Oh, as a retired judge. Okay. That's a little bit different. It's very different, yeah. I really like the idea of going long. When we look at higher time frame, when we look at the hourly, it doesn't look good. It's inside of this range. It's not expanding away from something. We look at the 4 hour. What does the 4 hour look like? Maybe that looks better. Four-hour could be a wick right here that we are turning into. 30-minute. We swept these lows. Closed up here. That's a 30-minute reversal. Do we got a 3-minute entry at 10:30? This is 11. So between 11 and 11:30, do we have a 3-minute entry? That would be right here. This is that long. I'll take this. I'll be willing to try this. It's our 3-minute entry for our 30-minute reversal. I would prefer it to come down into it and hit the breaker. That's what I really would like. There we go. I'm gonna take this right there. Let's see if it holds. We have 1 minute left. I'm putting my stop below the wick. Might need to. Jeez. Give it a little more room. That's aggressive. I'm going to reduce my position. I'm going to add another contract to bring my size down. Because that was so aggressive, that just tells me we're probably going back up. Alright, I'm going to target that low right there for the first. And then I will hold one to see if it wants to go for the data highs on ES. We need to close inside. Alright, we close inside the 3-minute. Valid entry. Let's see if we can get a continuation here. To me, this is worth the risk. Really, you would need to put your stop loss way down here, but that's just a large position size. We're sitting at 25 handles for a stop loss. Risk is $80 roughly. No, $100. I'm risking $100 for this trade. It's by far the best thing that we've seen all day. So moving my stop losses, giving it a little more room, I think is worth it on a trade like this. I'm only down about $40 on the day, so I'm okay with taking this trade. I'm still watching this 3-minute fair value gap. I don't want to see that violated. I want to see that find support. If it violates, we have two options. We can reduce our risk, reduce our stop loss, or close the trade. And I would be leaning towards reducing risk. Looks like it's going to close inside it. All right, so we closed inside it. Yeah, I know we're respecting that 5 minute. I'm wanting it to go through it, obviously. Oh, we got this 5 minute and discount as well. We'll see if it wants to, where it wants to go. If I'm on the wrong side, I'll feel it and it'll probably be aggressive. But I really like the idea of this move moving back into this range. I don't like how we're consolidating here. All right, we got another 3 minute that's going to close here. We're watching that 3 minute. That's really our bellwether right now. Is I need this 3 minute to hold for the 30-minute reversal model that we're taking this trade based off of, and the breaker that we're also taking this off of. So we're watching those two things. Let's close above that. That would be nice. All right, so still inside there. Great close on the 3 minute. Let's see if we can expand right here. Close above this 1 minute inversion. That's sitting right here. Make a higher high, and we should see an expansion. First target is towards these equal lows that we have marked out right here at 20,195. That'll be a 50-point move. If we can get the close above, I can move my stops up. I just need it to close above the swing high. Son of a gun. Come on. I'm long. I stopped one out at break even. I didn't like how it was potentially inversing this 1 minute fair value gap. So I reduced my risk at break even. No loss there, just reduced my size. Because this is going to close. This 3 minutes going to close below. So that idea is now gone. And I think I'm going to close this trade early. I closed the position before my stop was ran. The inversion failed. The breaker still valid, but not looking good. So I decided to close it. I took a 10-point loss on one contract. Strategy, I take inversions and breakers. Run for liquidity and imbalances. So the 30-minute that we were going long on was right here. We have our reversal signal on the 30-minute. Now we look on this between 11 and 11:30. We look for a 3-minute inversion. Well, that inversion was right here. We have another one way down here, but that's not. I don't want to play that one. So it failed. And so as soon as it failed, I'm going to close my position and close that. The breaker was also confirmation for that entry to give me more confidence about taking it. Well, it showed some resilience for about 9 minutes, but then we closed on the 12th minute below it, and that's when I was like, let's cut our trade and not take any unnecessary losses. Because even if I left my stop loss, it would have hit my stop loss that I had way down here. So I'm glad I ended up closing that position instead of just losing that extra cash. There's no need for it. It's so hard to trade. Yeah, so here's the thing, folks. You either have stellar risk management in conditions like these, or you choose to say, I don't want to lose money and walk away. Those are your options. And they're not bad options either. Because there's better days to trade. There's days that I take 6, 7, 8 trades and I don't have a single loss. Today is not one of those days. So either you have stellar risk management or you close the charts and you wait for Monday. You come back another day. That's really your best option. The only other interest that I have is playing a breaker to the downside. I'm not a giant fan of it because I don't know how low we want to go. But we did have a bearish candle that closed red, and so we assume some type of continuation if it wasn't going to completely just retrace and move the other direction, which was possible. That's why I was willing to take it, because we also swept the low. So I think what we're going to do, though, today, folks, is I think we're going to call it a day. I don't want to take any unnecessary losses. Maybe there'll be something in the PM session. Trading is like chasing a squirrel. That's the thing, Gravel. You need to let price come to you, and when I do that, I get better setups, better trades. When I chase trades or chase the squirrel, if that's what you want to call it, that's when you get more paper cuts. So we're going to call it a day here, folks. Use the code DTJ if you're interested in using any prop firms. I have a few listed there. Different ones are for different folks, so check those out. Or if you're interested in joining the community, we had some guy join here today. I don't know if he's on stream, but glad that you decided to join us, man. Looking forward to seeing you in the Discord. If you are interested, you can find more information on that in the description. So, folks, I think we're calling it a day. I wish we saw something different. Today is just not feeling it. So, God bless, guys. Stay safe. Enjoy your family. We'll see you guys on Monday. Take care.